Did you know using your browser in incognito mode doesn't actually protect your privacy? Take back your privacy with IPVanish VPN. Just one tap and all your data, passwords, communications, browsing history, and more will be instantly protected. IPVanish makes you virtually invisible online. Use IPVanish on all your devices, anytime you go online at home and especially on public Wi-Fi. Get IPVanish now for 70% off a yearly plan with this exclusive offer at ipvanish.com/audio.
Buying a car in Carvana was so easy. I was able to finance it through them.
Whoa, wait, you mean finance?
Yeah, finance. Got pre-qualified for a Carvana auto loan, entered my terms, and shot from thousands of great car options all within my budget.
That's cool, but financing through Carvana was so easy.
Financed. Done. And I get to pick up my car from their Carvana vending machine tomorrow.
Financed.
Right, that's what I said.
You can spend time trying to pronounce financing, or you can actually finance and buy your car today on
Carvana.
Financing subject to credit approval. Additional terms and conditions may apply.
Welcome to Like Mother, Like Murder. I am Rachel.
And I'm Heather.
We bring you the good,
The badass.
and the crime.
This is Like Mother, Like Murder.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Like Mother, Like Murder, your favorite true crime momcast. I am Rachel.
And I am Heather. And each week we bring you mom-related true crime, from missing moms to murdered moms, moms who murder survivors, and much, much more, including good, the badass, and the crime, which we will be talking about this week because we are 13.
13?
This is our 13th
Yes.
good, badass crime, baby.
It's crazy because actually, I love these. I love doing them. We've always said they're kind of the ones that are the palate cleanser, the one that kind of like keeps us, I want to say, sane throughout all of the heavy and everything that we do. But these are our lighter episodes. The crimes that we cover are typically more of a petty style crime. So none of this will be anything that is too heavy. And the majority of the crying, the majority of the heavy is from like us talking about badass women in this
Yes.
episode. So-
Yes, for sure, for sure. Oh, my badass mom is a badass mom. Well, and it's so funny because like this happens a lot too, where I couldn't pick which one was good and which one was badass because they're both pretty good and badass.
I always agree. I have the exact same where I'm just like, well, they kind of are interchangeable because also, yeah. And then, spoiler alert, I think that even my crime has some badass in there too. So I'm
Okay.
just like, it's just themed badassery in this episode right now. But
my crime is not good or
Not
badass. Mine is like,
so ridiculous.
well, and I was so good. We'll get there.
Okay.
My crime is something else.
So actually, to start number 13, I would like to start with a personal crime. If you are open to listening to me tell you a story.
Always.
You guys. So I called Heather the other day. Did I call you or end up texting you? Did you
just
answer? I
texted-
called.
You
Like, did I
texted me
call?
the picture. You just sent me the
Oh,
picture, and I
what
was
a good photo.
dying.
So, you guys, a long, long time ago, we did a Good, the Badass, and the Crime. No, it wasn't even a Good, the Badass, and the Crime. It was an ABC of crime.
I think it was an ABC.
It was an ABC of crime, which, wow. How have I not done one of those?
We need to do one of
Because those are way too chaotic. Like, we have a different vibe, but that one's chaotic. You guys let me know. You need some chaotic energy? Because I can totally do an ABC of crime. But in one of those ABCs of crime, I talk about a mother who legit was arrested because she did not pay her library dues or fines or fees or whatever that she claims she didn't know about. She was like, what are you even talking about? But went from not knowing about it to actually arrested. And I would like to say that was almost me this weekend. I was not almost arrested, but let me take you back in time where we on Sunday, which I didn't even know libraries were open on Sundays. I thought they were always closed. And my stepson wanted to go to the library. He had like specific books he wanted to get. So the four of us go to the library. Kenzie goes up there with 3 books. I go up there with 1 book, which I am so excited. I finally got my hands on the Sherry Frankie, The House of My Mother book. So I'm reading that right now. So cannot wait. And then Seb had his books, and we go to check out, and he looks up from his computer, and he just, like, stares me dead in the eyes. He goes, "You have a block on your account or something." And I was like, what does that even mean? And he goes, "It means you owe us $130. I was like, huh? And I, like, look over at Joel, who did one of those, like, looks like this, where he's like... And I'm like, well, okay, we elaborate, please. Like, please. No, I don't. First of all. Second of all, what? And so he printed out the receipt, which is the picture I sent to Heather. Mm-hmm. And on this receipt, there were 7 items costing, I want to say it was like $130 or $127 or $37. I don't know. I was like, my jaw was on the floor. And I'm like, I don't have these books. I brought these books back forever ago. So... he's like, well, we don't have them. So what he said was, I'm going to call them to arrest you. No, I'm just kidding. He said, go home, find the books. So we went home, and we were all on a mission to find these books. And what I will say is we had 6 out of the 7 of these books, you guys. And 4 of them were in a purse. I don't carry a purse, like, ever. I have this one Michael Kors red purse that I got at like a Christmas party years ago, and it's the one purse I have because I was given it like I want it. You know?
Oh God. So
anyways, 4 of the books were in that purse in my closet, and apparently that to me means that I was meaning to take them back at some point.
That's what I think. I think you like specifically put these books in that purse and was like, I am taking these books in. And then with your brain, you were like,
did that. Didn't do that. So that's what happened. And you know what's funny? I mean, none of it was funny. It was actually really humiliating because throughout this summer, I have really let my house go. And so there's piles everywhere. There's so much work that I have to do. And when I dropped off my daughter that first day, I was like, oh, guess who's back? I was ready. I was like, okay, time to conquer the world and conquer these piles. I actually had a really, really bad back because I had hurt myself. And I don't know if it was a pinched nerve or what. So no, not to the extent that I want it to be, but some has started. And I feel like I have a clear mind ready to do it where I just felt heavy. Like I loved having her, but it's just different. It's like a different world, you know? Mm-hmm. And so that was a whole different, you know, situation. Was the crime isn't the library books. The crime is my house. Like, it was really bad. So we turned the 6 in. We went back that day and turned those 6 in, and I was ready to just pay for the other book. And he was like, oh, no, now that you're under $50, you can check books out. And I was like, what?
So that's the threshold there? Like, once you're under 50 on your fines, you can check books out? Okay, fair.
And I was like, okay, do I just pay this now? Because one of the things, so the book ended up being one of the books that my daughter had. And the amount of times that we have cleaned her room and like gotten rid of things and cleaned her room and gotten rid of things, I'm like, it's either in a box in the garage somewhere or it is gone to someone else. Someone else has this library book. And I'm like, am I going to find it? So I didn't pay for it right then and there. I'm like, maybe it'll come up. I'll probably end up just paying the $12.99 that book is. But it was, and you know what I did? I asked him, I was like, did you guys like contact me? You try calling me or like sending me? And he's like, well, you know, in the mail, they send something. And I'm like,
nope.
I don't know.
That's also in the red purse. That piece of mail.
Shit.
Just kidding. You know what's so crazy is I think I was about Kenzie's age when the library at the school was like, oh, you have an overdue book. And I told my mom, I have no idea where this book is. I think I lent it to a friend. And my parents had to pay for a book from the school because I was like, I have no idea where this book is. And I remember being deathly scared. And because my parents were like, this is the first and the last time we will ever be paying for a library book. You have to be taking better care of yourself. Da, 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 da. And I was like deathly scared. And I think I was about her age the first time and the last time that ever happened.
It's not even like I truly believe it's not even a her thing. It's definitely a me thing.
That's what happens.
Yeah.
Is like, and I'm sure that I guarantee you it wasn't my fault. I think it was the same thing. It was like my mom's cleaning up my room. We're moving things around. And who even knows? Like, we moved like several times when I was a kid.
Right.
Who knows? Like,
you're like, the book's in New Mexico.
The book's in a different house. It's in a different freaking country. I don't even know. Like, England.
Someone has it. That's so funny. That's crazy. Yeah. So that is, I was almost, I'm going to say to the day I die, I was almost arrested on Sunday on fraudulent book not paying charges.
Little did you know, the library has a button right there underneath the counter where, like, if the person comes in and they see that,
were notified.
they were seconds away from pressing that button.
Yeah. They have the facial recognition on the camera when you walk in, so it already like alerted them. They have their earbud. They're like, "Hey, she's walked in. She's 130 fine. Better get her." Like, that's why I saw 32 people following me the entire time. I'm confused. Like, what did they think I was gonna do? Run out with my the House of My Mother book? Yeah, pretty crazy.
Suspect
and actually,
is on the run.
You know what's wild? So one of the books, I think, was one of the first books I ever got from the library like 3 years ago.
Wait a second, stop it.
I think it was one of the first books because I forget what it was called. I don't know, but it was something true crime related.
I have the picture.
Oh my gosh,
right here,
how funny is that?
Of your book,
yeah, let me know.
Of your, let's see. Here we go. Unspeakable Acts, True Tales of Crime, Murder, Deceit, and Obsession.
That's the one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I want to say that was the very first book I checked out from the library because I can picture me getting that book and being so excited because I don't read. So I was like, yay, I'm going to read a book. And I never did. And then like Joel got like a fish tank book. And so I was like, definitely thought I turned that one in.
Well,
and
first of all, I'm just so proud of your family for supporting your local library because, y'all, support your local libraries. Like, those are literal, little diamonds of information and resources there. Support your local libraries. They live on you. And also, don't return your books right away because they live on those fines, man. They live on those. You were actually supporting your local library by not returning your books on time.
Yeah, right. I actually did turn it in. They brought them back, put them back in my house, and hid them from me.
They were like, you know what? This girl has no purses. She'll never look in here.
She always comes in here with just her phone in her pocket. Like, that's the only thing I need. Another crazy thing, and then we really have to get into this. Sorry, everybody. Not sorry. The last year was the first summer I was a stay-at-home mom, and we utilized the library like crazy. We went to every single like lunch bunch, comedy show. One time we went there to see owls. One time we went there for an inflatable whale. Last year we were there all the time. Lego Club, Pokemon Club. And so apparently I haven't been there in a year. I was like,
you've been there. You just weren't trying to check out any friggin' books.
I guess not. Yeah. We were just watching the free shit. Like, it's so crazy to me. All
Apparently
right,
their
let's get
facial
into
recognition wasn't working.
Yeah. I didn't know the librarians wear headsets nowadays, but I get it now. Why they have them. She's here. Alert. Let's do this. You ready?
All right. I'm so ready. Rock, paper, scissors for who goes first?
Always.
All right. Are we ready? Okay. We're going to open it up here with the good. Here is I just had a fucking Spider-Man moment. My bracelet was going to fall off of the desk, and I freaking caught it. It was amazing.
Yeah, girl.
Okay.
That's amazing.
That is my good badassness. Okay. Here is the headline. She was told to terminate her pregnancy. Now she's raising 2 sons who are inspiring millions.
Oh.
So this is from an exclusive article with People. When this mom and her family, especially her 11-year-old son, went viral. So this mom's name is Madison Sisson, and she was actually born herself with, and I'm going to do my best to explain or say this, lacrimoauriculodental dentodigital syndrome, or LAD syndrome, LADD syndrome, which is a rare genetic disorder which is characterized by a range of anomalies affecting the lacrimal system. So it can do a bunch of different things: tear production, drainage, ear malformations, dental issues, and then a lot of times it comes with like hand and finger deformities. And despite her own diagnosis, Madison's childhood was what she says was surprisingly, quote unquote, normal. And at 19, she met her future husband, Kane, and they got married, decided to have kids. But due to her own genetic condition, the testing said that there was a 50% chance that their children could also inherit the same thing, LAD.
Right.
They still said, though, they wanted to move forward, and they had hope. And at 21, they were pregnant with their first child. And obviously, normally, joyful milestone, but it very quickly turned fearful because at the first ultrasound, the doctors couldn't find their baby's left arm. So the genetic testing of the baby didn't show signs of LAD, but the ultrasound really worried doctors. So can you even imagine that up until 24 weeks, the doctors discussed terminating the pregnancy over the baby's quality of life?
So, first of all, that's ridiculous that it just continued and continued and continued. Because my thing is like, let the mom do what the mom's going to do, right? But it's like, also, if you bring this up once and the mom's like, no, and you give her that information to look over, it's like, who are you to continue to do this?
If she said fucking no, leave it.
Yeah.
She knows, and you tell her from the beginning, you say, look, you have this option up until this amount of time. At this amount of weeks, that option is no longer available. And, and like, that's it. Like, you don't need to remind her. She fucking knows. Obviously. Right. Like, she's not going to fucking forget that option.
Yeah. And I wonder, like, I mean, from the doctor's standpoint or, like, medical standpoint, I wonder the statistics on how many children are born with LAD or other things that
it's
parents
rare.
do give up. But I just mean in general, like, how many times these medical professionals have to see someone probably give birth and then that child is not taken care of the way that they need to be. So it's like, I can understand it once. Yeah. To inform and give the information.
Exactly. It's your duty as a doctor to make sure they understand the risks involved and make sure that because they're going to be the caretaker for this child, they understand like this may not be a normal life. It's going to take more, it's going to be more of a challenge. And then also with obviously Madison has it herself, but she, from what I understand, hers was not so severe. So, she had a quote unquote normal childhood. So like, but she understands like, okay, this is what the risk is.
Right.
But yeah, like I agree. I'm like, fucking lay off, right?
Yeah.
So when their first child, Riker, was born, he was missing his left arm and was later diagnosed with hearing loss, which is another, thing that happens with Lad. And then they had their second son, Rhett, who was also born with differences in both arms and was born completely deaf. So 2 months after their second son, Rhett's birth, the weight of it all hit Madison. And she was driving home. And this is always when it fucking happens, right? It was just a quiet drive home, baby's in the backseat, and it just hit her. It all came crashing down. She said she called Kane. She was just bawling on the freeway. She was just like, oh my God, just like the weight of it. It's always in those quiet moments.
Yeah.
For me, I just remember a lot of the times it was like those late night feedings, and it just fucking, the weight of it all just coming down. And she said, she calls her husband, her partner, this person that she's going through all of this with. And she told him, she's having a hard time. And she said she remembers he said, whatever is meant to be has already been written. It is what it is. And we just have to keep moving forward.
That's a good, supportive man right there.
Right there. Shout out. That's exactly what I fucking wrote. Shout out to the supportive partner right there. And the fact that he said, it's already been written. It is what it is. It is what it is. That's what my dad is like, for as long as I can remember, that's his thing. It is what it is. And you have to move forward. You do. Yeah. And you can acknowledge that this fucking sucks. It is what it is, but like it doesn't change it. We got to keep going.
Right.
So that's what they did. They decided, this is what we have to do. And these parents they're killing it. They are. So they decided that's what we got to do. And they decided to focus on what the boys can do rather than what they couldn't.
Absolutely.
Rather than what they couldn't. And over the years, they watched how Riker, who's now 11, could learn to use his feet to just do everything from riding, eating, even playing video games.
Yes.
Which is ultimately just like any 11-year-old boy.
Right.
Living in the room
on there. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's ultimately what inspired them to share on social media what these boys can do. And so what Madison said is it really all started when Riker said, he actually was the one that said, hey, Mom, tonight we should make a video of me playing my video game so I can show everyone how I do it with his feet.
Yeah.
And so this is what went viral. This is what went absolutely viral. And as for the future, Madison says the family plans to continue to share their journey online. And she said, of course, there's the haters out there.
Yeah.
There's obviously the haters out there. But she said ever since they've really started sharing these differences and that there's just, you can overcome. There's just overwhelming love and support that's made a completely lasting impact on them. And there's just thousands and thousands of amazing comments. And she said that she reads the page that they set up for Riker and how he's able to do all these things, despite his differences and just overcome. And she said she's just bawling because there's just so many good humans in the world. And even though life can feel really heavy and hard sometimes, you read that, the amazing things that people can say, and you just think, damn, I have just the most incredible kid. And people see that, and it's just this overwhelming feeling of support. And I think it's what I love about this. It just really is a full circle moment because she's sitting there thinking, I have the most amazing kid. And she does clearly have. If you've seen these videos, so I watched some of them, and he's just like, hell yeah, watch me with my video game. It's just like it's really amazing. But you again have to give the shout out because like the part of the reason that he is so amazing is because he has this support system that again focuses on everything he can do.
Yes. Yeah.
And that
Definitely.
comes from his parents being like, we're gonna support you and we're gonna focus on everything you can do. And he takes that and he rolls with it, and it's just like this, it's just a supportive circle. And it's amazing too, the power of social media. We know how negative obviously social media can be, but the other thing too is that when you get to see, I mean, there's more people out there with LAD, and there's when you get to see that there's little boys out there, 11 years old, playing their video games just like anybody else. When, another 5-year-old, a 6-year-old, a 3-year-old is out there with the same thing, with the same,
Right.
Missing an arm, anything like that. And they see this, they're also going to be inspired.
Exactly.
So-
I was going to say that's the biggest thing that I am so grateful when it comes to like social media, and you were talking about the haters and stuff. It's like, you really do have to look the other way with the people
Oh,
behind
yeah.
these keyboards and stuff, because they're awful, they're cruel, all of that. But you're right. Like the inspiration that is going to happen for children and parents, because
Oh, yeah.
it's, I mean, even seeing her in that weak moment, or that it's not a moment of weakness. It's just a moment of that truly that's life, and you're moving on, and you
Gut
had the
check
support
reality.
that you needed.
Yeah.
Exactly. And it's like to know that there are kids who are going to see that, and they're going to feel so capable and seen
yeah.
in that moment. But
Yes,
then also
seen.
the
Yes.
parents who are going to see it and go, look at how I could have approached things maybe differently, or like been supportive or helped in this way.
Mhm.
And that's just an amazing, amazing thing. I got goosebumps all over my
I
body
know.
like 15 times. I love that. Oh,
Yeah.
that's incredible. I got to go see these
Oh, it's
videos.
so cute. Yeah, I'll send you. I'll send
love
you,
it.
and we'll maybe we'll even we'll link some of them in the post we do for this one, because it's just like it's all smiles. It's so cute,
Yeah.
and it's just like it's just a kid playing it. Like it's what I
Right.
mean. It's the best.
Yeah. An 11-year-old living his life.
Yeah, exactly.
It's funny because like in my notes, I wrote down, let's just start off crying, because
Okay,
we're going to.
done. Check.
And
done.
then you hit me with that, and I've already been tearing up the entire time. So thank you. So for my good, I'm going to start off with a quote from a mom. This is the quote. She said, "I know you will do this for me, but can you raise 9 kids? Can you take my babies, all of them, and keep them together?" I said, I don't know. I have to pray about this. I have to talk to my husband about this. We discussed it as a family, and my kids were the first to say yes. They had gotten really close with Beth's kids. My husband was like a deer in headlights, but he knew this is what we had to do. Beth Leetkep and Stephanie Coley from Virginia were friends for years. They went to school together, they grew up together, and then they had moved away for a little bit, and then they moved back. They lived in the same area when they moved back, still had that close friendship, and they were raising kids and living life together. Beth ended up being diagnosed with breast cancer that ultimately ended up taking her life. But before that, she had asked her friend if she would be able to take and keep all of her 6 kids together. So
my
Beth had
God.
6 children of her own, and her friend Stephanie had 3 of her own. So to know that would be an insane amount of kids, let me say, just an insane amount of kids. But it's the fact, like, even in that quote saying, like, are you sure you can do this? Because it's like she knew she wanted to keep her kids together.
Yeah,
And-
of course.
The system, I mean, we talk a lot about how the system is broken, and the system, there's so much good that comes out of it, but there's so
Sure.
much that it's like, are they going to go to loving
The
homes?
odds
Are they
of
going to
6
be together?
kids staying
Exactly.
together, not good.
Yeah. And
No.
that's exactly what Stephanie Coley said she had to make happen. So her and her husband and their kids, who were the first to say yes, said, absolutely, we're going to do this. And they did just that. So they actually had 2 homes that were already kind of like set up with paperwork to take them when Beth had passed. And On July 19th, they went straight to court. They got full custody of Beth's 6 children. Now they have kids ranging from 15 to 2 years old in their house.
God.
It's like, that's a lot. 'Cause I was just like, whoa.
Imagine the chaos.
Yeah. And in the article, Stephanie talks about with one of the reporter saying that she's like, there was actually a time when my husband talked about not wanting kids and that they were never going to have kids. So like going from, 3 of your own after saying you weren't having kids to having 9 is a superpower.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just, it's such a beautiful thing. It's so sad for Beth, for these children who had to experience that. But the fact that they get to be together because of her friend is incredible. So I loved it.
It's like so many things hit you in that because like as a mom, obviously it's like super important to keep your kids together. But the other thing too is like the fact that like she trusted her friend so much that like, like if I can't do it, I know
choose
that
you.
you can. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's amazing. And then her friend being like, well, I have to do this because also like I always think about that. And it's like something we hear a lot of times too when we're covering cases, when friends step up, family steps up. It's like, of course, I'm going to take them on as my own because obviously not just because like they don't have anyone, but because this is the only thing I have left of them. Yeah. And I want that. And and so, oh my God, that's just absolutely
and
amazing.
I mean, you mentioning what they have left, it's like, I think about, even if I was to think of if something ever happened to me, my parents are older and would they say yes? Of course they would. You know what I mean?
They would, right?
But so this specific situation, the mom who ended up passing, she had the 6 kids and she had 2 different fathers that were the children's fathers. There was 2. And one of them went to court and was in full support. And they don't elaborate on all of the details, but I'm just curious as like, that to me shows that you're supporting because he wasn't saying anything against it. And then the other dad didn't even show up. So, maybe he's just absent. He's not a part of their lives whatsoever.
Right.
And maybe this other father was, like, maybe he is a part, but it's like he knows this is what's in their best interest.
Right.
And it's like he probably didn't want to separate his kids from the other kids as well.
Yeah,
so,
exactly. That's a fucking man right there.
Right.
That's a man. I mean, that, and I'm sure in that situation too, he's like, I mean, hopefully he knows, like, look, I can co-parent with them too.
Yeah.
Like, I can come pick up
I hope
some
so.
of my kids on the weekends or do whatever, come see them too. Like, I'm not going to take them away from their siblings who, like, the same way. That's the only piece of their mom that they have left is their siblings. I'm not going to take them away from that. Like, that's shout out. That's just a good decision right there.
One other thing in the article that I thought was absolutely beautiful and hilarious intertwined is the fact that one of the conversations that Stephanie said that she had with Beth was the fact that Beth was like a girly girl and her girls always had their hair done and braids and bows.
She's like,
and this,
you
this,
need
and that.
to learn to do a hair, Stephanie, because
she did. She said, you don't be doing that to your kids. And I don't know if maybe she had boys or girls, but she's like, listen, I have worked so hard to take care of that.
She
and
goes,
I need you to keep this
you
up.
Need to, like, you need to take some classes. You need to start going on YouTube.
Yeah. So I'm sure, I mean, I'm only from all of this can only know that Stephanie's braiding and doing bows.
For Stephanie to take some
for
sure
classes. Yes.
That is so cute. You know that they were close. Cute. You know that they were best friends. So she's like, girl,
you better be braiding
her hair. We need to have a real talk right now.
I love it. I love
that so much. Oh my God. I love that.
I know. Me too.
I love all the goodness in the world. Let's keep it going with some badassness in the world. Let's keep it going.
I mean,
Okay,
both
here's
of
my
the good
badass.
moms we talked about are badasses too.
I mean,
so we're just
for
it's
real,
reoccurring.
for real. This one is all like, this is again, like you could swap my good and my badass.
Right.
So here's the headline of my badass. Mother wins 62-mile ultra marathon while breastfeeding her 6-month-old baby and starting 30 minutes after arrivals. So I'm just going to read that headline again because there's a lot happening in it.
Yeah.
Mother wins 62 miles. 62 miles. I don't think I've walked 62 miles in my lifetime. Okay. 62-mile ultra marathon. Now let me just explain to you. An ultra marathon is literally called an ultra marathon because the trail is a fucking mountain. Like it's literally mountainous terrain. Ultra marathon while breastfeeding her 6-month-old baby. Okay, 6 months. She is 6 months postpartum. You know what I was doing 6 months postpartum? Still leaning on my stroller to try to walk down the fucking street, okay?
We are not the same.
Like, we are not the same. Starting 30 minutes. She wins starting 30 minutes after arrival. So apparently, I didn't know this because I don't run races. I don't even win against my 5-year-old in races. 30 minutes after arrival. So apparently with these marathons, like if you have like a rating, you get to start at a certain point, I guess. But if you're I don't know. I get into it a little bit during the thing, but 30 minutes after like the first people started, she still beat them.
Crazy.
Okay?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Stephanie, another badass fucking Stephanie, okay? Stephanie Case was breastfeeding her 6-month-old baby when she won a 62-mile ultramarathon last weekend. So, despite starting, like I said, 30 minutes after the other participants and stopping to breastfeed her daughter, Pepper, cutest name ever.
I love it.
Her 6-month-old baby and
You just know she's a badass. First of all, ultramarathon. You're not badass. Sorry, not a badass doing ultramarathons. But if you name your daughter Pepper, badass.
Isn't it so cute?
I love that.
So this Canadian trail runner won the Ultra Trail Snowdonia 100K. I'm sorry, 100K sounds so much cooler than 62 mile, but still 100K. So the badass mom was breastfeeding, eating a watermelon, got to stay hydrated mid-trail or mid-race. So her daughter was born 6 months ago. This is so crazy. And she had taken, and this was her first race. So, oh my God, I forgot this part. So she had taken a 3-year break from racing. So she had been a marathoner racer, which already, good for you. It's like, I've done one 5K in my life, and I still had to walk halfway through it.
I've done 2 half marathons. I've done numerous 5Ks, but I'm like 13 miles, which I have a story after you're done. I'm like, that's way different than 62.
And through a mountain. Like I looked up pictures of this one. It's literally through mountains. Like this is crazy. So she took 3 years off from racing mountains because she was going through a fertility journey, which had included miscarriages, multiple rounds of IVF. She ultimately was pregnant, gave birth to Lil Pepper. Then, and then this lady was like, I'm going to jump back in.
Right.
6 months later is back in her first race after 3 years off. And
That's
because she had
crazy.
taken so much time off, she doesn't have like her rating anymore. So she starts 30 minutes behind like the beginners. Like she doesn't have like the beginners. So then she starts 30 minutes. She's taking multiple breaks throughout to breastfeed Pepper. And she's going through mountains. And then she fucking wins it. Absolutely
I feel like
insane.
I'm speechless, which is so not normal.
I mean, this is absolute. I'm just like reading it, and it's so funny because it's just like the first part of the headline: Mother wins 62-mile ultramarathon. That could have been enough. While
Check.
breastfeeding, check. Could have been
Check.
enough. Her 6-month-old baby. So you're telling me she gave birth 6 months ago? Check. Starting 30
Also,
minutes after
6-month-old
everybody...
baby. Yeah. But 6-month-old baby isn't a 8-pound little thing. You're telling me you're just like, I'm sorry, if I was running, I would not want to stop and hold jack shit. Like, I'd just be like, too
seriously.
heavy.
Like, what the hell? I'll have to send you the picture too of her. Hold on, let me see if I can share this really quick. Hold on, let me see if I can.
That's absolutely incredible. While you're pulling that up, I want to.
I'll have to find the Instagram and send it to you. But like, it's so.
Okay.
I mean, it was absolutely amazing. So yes, please share me your story because I have all of one race story. It's Heather tried to run a 5K with a slightly uphill for part of it and took had to walk part of it
the rest
because that's it.
Well, first of all, I'll say I'm doing a
story.
5K tomorrow, and I will be walking the entire thing because your girl be chunky right now. But so what I was gonna say is I actually just worked a race. So for anyone who listens to this podcast, I actually manage a race company
That's
here.
what you do,
and
girl.
yeah, so I put on 5K, 10K, 15, and half marathons, and so we had like I want to say like 14 half marathoners run on Saturday, and they started. So they started at 8:30, and then all of a sudden this girl comes up at like 8:37 or something, and she's like, "Sorry, I'm late. The address took me somewhere else. She was from out of town, so she was late." And I was like, "Okay, no worries. We'll get you there, and then I'll like mark the time so that, you know, it doesn't adjust, like I'll correct it so that your time is accurate to what you actually run today." And she's like, "Okay." I was like, "What are you doing? Half marathon, blah, blah, blah." So I want to say she started like 9 minutes behind the rest of them. And it was half marathon's 13 miles, 13.1. And she lapped like 8 of the other half marathoners. She came in first for the whole thing. And the guy who was in the lead the entire time, that last lap, his mom was like, "Is that girl gonna," like, she got so frustrated with the fact that this girl was approaching him. Well, she's approaching him and she's just running. And the mom goes over and she's like telling her son, like, run faster. And she did not want him to get past, but it confused him. So then he went off trail and started running towards her. And I was like, "No, go back." So then he runs back. So at the end of it, he's like, "Mom, why'd you like mess me up?" But she was just like that down mom that was like trying to like hype her kid up, but like wrong way of doing it.
Yeah. Oh my God,
This girl,
get it, girl.
she came in. Yeah, she was a beast.
Kills you. She's like
Crazy.
She's literally that one. She waltzes up late. She's like literally like hungover from the night before. It's like, "I'm here for the half marathon."
I will say it was very clear. It looked like this girl didn't drink a thing in her life. Like, she looked like the most physically fit, mentally there human there's ever been walking up.
She
and
fucking laps people. That's the most amazing thing
I was
in the
like,
world.
holy heck, man. Like, and it was crazy to watch her because the more I work the races, like, you see all the different type of runners, and she just had the most consistent pace I've ever seen. Like, a lot of people, they'll start strong, then they'll go a little slower in the middle, and then they'll finish strong type thing. Or maybe they try to keep their pace the whole time, whatever. But usually at the end, you're like, go. No, this girl, she was just steady pace the whole time. And when you turn the corner to like finish, there's like a loop that you finish and it's kind of uphill and you curve. This girl was sprinting. I was like, I had full body chills. I'm like, am I going to cry for this girl I've never seen in my life before right now?
Dude, I need to be a runner.
Yeah. She's a runner. She's a track star.
I got this dog like almost 2 months ago now, and I said I was gonna start running with her. I haven't.
Yeah. I had mine 3 years, and I haven't. Okay, are you ready for mine?
I'm ready for your badass.
There's people like yours that run 62-mile ultra marathon,
crazy
breastfeeding 6-month-old babies and coming in first, and then there's moms like mine that punch mountain lions in faces. So, do you know this story?
No, but they would be friends.
Right, absolutely. So, Listen, part of me when I was reading this, because I feel like I've seen this story and I'm like, have I covered this? Like, I feel like if I'm going to repeat one, it's going to be a badass one, because
hell yeah.
even the ones that when I'm searching for my articles, I like come across ones that I know I've heard or I've told, and I'm just like, let me reread it because hell to the yes,
why
I love this
not?
person. Yeah. But this one specifically is a mom who saved her son's life by punching a mountain lion
Hell
face.
yeah.
in the face.
Love it.
So a 5-year-old little boy was playing in Calabasas, California,
Right up the street.
and a mountain lion came out and attacked this young boy. He was dragging the child away, maybe 45 yards. He had already started dragging this child when the mother ran out and repeatedly punched and striked the mountain lion until it finally released.
Hell yeah.
It's like, I'm like,
Mhm.
you hear this unimaginable scream happen from your child, and you have nothing but your bare hands
Mhm.
and the
And the
ultimate love for a
adrenaline
child.
and just like you're fucking
Yeah.
raw, just
Yeah.
like motherly, like it's like
Mama
running
bear
through my
came out.
veins now. Like it's
Yes.
like
Yeah. So she ended up having to take her son to the hospital where he was
Mhm.
treated for injuries to his head, his neck, his upper torso, but he was saved by his mom. And I want to read the last paragraph of the article because I feel like it's important to share this part as well. But I hike a lot. I go out and, I'm on a mountain. Well, I can't even say that. Let me take that back. I don't hike a lot anymore, but I used to, and I try and I want to.
you still trail it up.
I try, but not as much as I want. But
Do you get mountain lions though, or are you like bears?
Yeah, you can. Bears more.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely bears all over here. I haven't seen any out here, but I mean, there's sightings all the time. Bear sees me, they don't want nothing to do with me. I'll be like, "Sup, bear?" No, I wouldn't. I'm not that person. But the point of this, at the end of the article, they talk about how these attacks are very rare, and that in California, and this is like, I don't remember exactly when this happened, this occurrence, this attack,
Yeah.
but since in California, since 2019,
Yeah.
they've actually only spotted 4 mountain lions in California. So it's not a common thing. And I wanted to
Yeah.
add that because I feel like all of our California listeners are like, I'm never going outside again, and
Yeah.
it's like, first of all, go outside, just be ready to punch a mountain lion in the face.
Mhm.
But it is rare. I mean, there's more than 4. I'm going to
Yeah.
say that with my whole chest because,
Yeah.
you're saying you only spot those. But it's like, even in Tehachapi, stuff like that, it's like, for a fact, like you hear them on your roof and stuff. It's not the
Yeah.
same mountain lion. I don't know. But, ultimately, it comes down to the fact that, unfortunately, for at least one of those mountain lions, they crossed paths with a mother who was more than ready to throw hands.
Hells yeah.
That's how the article ended, and I was like,
Hells
she was
yeah.
ready to throw
You're
hands.
in California when a mom's
Yeah.
ready to throw hands with
Yes.
fucking mountain lion.
I was like, that is amazing. And
Throw
I mean, no hate towards a Calabasas woman because I mean, the majority of my family is Calabasas
she
women.
was not born and raised in Calabasas though. 'Cause
That's what I
ain't
was gonna say, like, you
you
would
know
not
she's like
think that
from
a mom-
LA.
Yeah.
She probably made some money and moved over to Calabasas.
That's
And
the
you
most
know that
judgy thing out
whoever
of my
wrote that article is also not from Calabasas because no one from Calabasas is saying throw hands. Like,
Hey,
I'm
maybe
sorry.
maybe nowadays they are. I don't know, but I mean,
Maybe.
whether you're a mom from Calabasas or a mom from LA or a mom from London, England, China, wherever, listen,
throw them hands, girl.
you're gonna throw hands for your child
You will.
with a
you
mountain
will.
lion. So that to me was
That's
amazing.
pretty
I loved it.
badass. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Shout out.
She's awesome.
to that mother.
Yep.
That's freaking crazy. That is crazy. It does make so like where I live, y'all, is Calabasas is what, probably 20 minutes that way. Takes me how long to get to your Bab's house?
I was gonna say I can't ever keep up with what's actually like distance wise because I'm like, well, it takes 2 hours
I
for
know.
17 miles.
We can't go by distance wise in LA. It's like minutes wise, depending on
Right.
traffic. But
you tell someone it'll
we
take
don't-
30 minutes. Why does it say 2 miles?
I know, seriously. Because, well, and this is the thing right now, because of the heat and around fire season and because of the summer, the wildlife is out because they're looking for water. And so we do have mountains, and Calabasas, it does have the mountains, and we have mountains here in the valley. And I actually haven't seen mountain lions, but I've seen my fair share of coyotes. Literally, I have seen coyotes up and down my street, one hanging out in my freaking neighbor's yard. Literally walked out my front yard and saw a coyote just laying down, chilling in my neighbor's grass.
Yeah,
Not
that's crazy.
20 feet from me.
Do you
Like,
see the videos
chilling.
of the people that walk up to the coyotes and they're like, "Hi, dog," and they start petting the coyote?
Crazy. Like, I saw one where a lady, she was like, I really should start wearing my glasses because she let a coyote into her house and she's thinking it
Oh
was her
my gosh, that is
like
crazy.
it can be crazy around here in like the Calabasas area, anywhere in the valley, because you're literally surrounded by like mountainous area. So
Yeah, you're in the
especially
valley.
when these like, yeah, it's the valley. So that's freaking crazy, y'all. But I'll throw hands.
Throw hands.
Throw hands.
All right.
All right. Are we
Crime
ready for
me.
this crime? Okay.
Yep.
So I'm gonna read this.
I love when you already laugh.
Okay.
Oh, it's gonna be
I'm gonna read
good,
this
you
crime. This
guys.
is the headline. Aruna mom Rebecca Lee Johns avoids jail over horse float theft. Random reasons mom's horse float heist unraveled. So
Oh, okay. Okay.
Rebecca Lee Johns, a 36-year-old mother of 3 from Queensland, pled guilty to the fraud and unlawful possession of a motor vehicle, among other charges, after stealing a horse float. She was eventually suspended of the 6-month jail sentence. So when I first was reading about this, I was so confused, and the more I kept reading, I was just like even more confused because I was like, a horse float, because I'm thinking like a float, like Rose Parade float,
Right.
like,
yeah.
okay. And I'm just like, why would this lady steal a float that was built like a horse? Like, maybe there's like, and this is happening in Australia, so I'm like, maybe there's horse races, like an Australian version of the Kentucky
Right.
Derby, and they do
Yeah.
a parade, and there's
Yeah.
a float that was built like a horse. So I was like, why?
That's where
did
I thought
she
it was headed.
Why did she steal one though? Like, why? Obviously, what are you gonna do? Ride it around town? You're obviously
Yeah.
gonna get caught. But do you know what a horse float is?
No, that's what I'm
What they're
saying. Is I thought that was going to be the exact same direction you were going in for sure. And I live in the horse land, so I should know this.
In Australia, they call it a horse float. But do you know what it is called in America?
Oh gosh, now I'm like, is this the most obvious? No, I don't. I know nothing
it's a
about a horse
trailer.
float.
It's a horse trailer.
Oh,
yeah.
I totally thought this was going somewhere way better than hearing the
know.
word trailer.
I know. I was so excited when I found
I'm
this article.
only
'cause I
calling them
thought-
horse floats the rest of my life.
Right? Because, like, I thought this was going to go in, like, a super cool direction. Like, she was stealing this horse float.
Yeah.
Because, like, it was, like, a rival float for, like,
Right, yeah.
Like, I thought it was going to go in this super cool, crazy direction. Because,
No.
like, there were rivals in the Australian Kentucky Derby race or something. I don't know. But it's just a fucking
A
horse trailer.
trailer.
Yes.
Why did she steal it?
So, this is I'm sorry, because I just keep like picturing like a float with like a horse on it, like a fucking. Trojan
the first thing I
horse
was thinking
type.
about when you see, you're saying Trojan, you're way better than me. The first thing I was thinking of when you said horse float is like in our grocery store, they have one of those where you put the quarter in and you like ride it. And I'm like, is that what she was trying to steal? Like taking. And actually, ours don't take quarters. It's a penny. And all the patrons put pennies on this little horse thing in our mire. So it's pretty
That's
great.
so sweet. Oh my
yeah, I
God.
love
Have
that
you
it's
seen
just a penny.
Paradise?
No.
You have to watch the show Paradise. So we just watched it, and it's actually pretty cool because they filmed a lot of it at Zach's work.
wow.
Oh my God, I know. Oh shit. Anyway, horse floats, which I'm also going to start calling those little horse.
Yeah, for
buggy
sure.
things.
You guys,
Everything's
it's
just going to be a horse
or
float
bus
from now on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Trailer my ass.
I know. And so the reason she stole this is because it was actually a custom built, like really nice horse float.
Yeah.
And her and her family were actually like in the business, and they were actually getting ready to go to some equestrian event in Las Vegas. And so she stole it and actually forged documents like she bought it. And so I actually was trying to look up like why. So she was either planning on using it or she was going to try to sell it herself because it was actually worth a lot of money because it was custom built. So, yeah, so she was just, I was like really excited because I was like, why did she steal a horse float? Like, what's going on? And then I realized, and then it dawned on me that like, oh, it's just a fucking trailer. Damn it.
Wah, wah, wah. My crime has to do with theft as well.
Oh, did they steal a horse?
Nope.
Oh, man. Okay, what did
you
they
are
steal?
going to go ballistic.
Okay.
Was there other stuff about it?
No, that's all there was.
Okay.
It was wah
Yeah,
wah.
that is like the lead up, to be let down just now was actually more of a crime than the crime, Heather.
I was literally taking you through my emotions roller
through
coaster
it, yeah.
as I was reading through this horse float debacle.
Well, you're about to go on another emotional roller
shit.
coaster, as is everyone, because we've got quite a bit of mamas that listen to this podcast. Hopefully, you guys enjoy these episodes the way that we do, and you cry with us, and you laugh with us, and you say, "What in the actual hell?" with us. Mother of 2 was arrested for theft and held in a cell for 7.5 hours. After confiscating her own children's iPads.
What?
Yeah, you heard me right. She
No.
took her children's iPads. The police came, arrested her, and she was in jail in a cell for 7.5 hours.
No.
I want to make this very clear before I get into this. This article does not provide the ages of the children, and it only says that the report of the theft came from a man in his 40s. And I'm blown away because for me, I'm like, as I'm reading this and as we go through this right now, I'm like, the kids turned her in. The kids were pissed. They called and said, my mom took my stuff. It has to be a joke. It was not a joke.
Fuck?
So this mother, whose name is Vanessa Brown, she's 50 years old and a longtime well-known history teacher in the area in Surrey, London, was arrested and accused of theft. The whole situation is bizarre. The police went to her mother's house. She doesn't even live there. She was visiting her mom. Went to her mother's house because the iPads pinged. They pinged the iPads, okay? And when the mom was like, what in the world's happening right now? She was arrested for not cooperating. Not sure exactly what they were doing because it's not in the article. It doesn't say like she tried to punch a officer. I don't know what she did, but it says
Because she was probably going, what the fuck are you doing? These are
what
my
do you
kids'
mean?
iPads.
Yeah, get out of my face, right? And so they don't go into what she did or didn't do, but she was taken in the cop car to the jail, was held in the cell for 7.5 hours. They even went to the daughter's school, took one of the daughters out of her class to interview her. And it's like,
what? What an absolute waste of fucking, like, police
time and resources and life. Yeah. So, and she says just that because in this article, she ends up saying to the reporter, quote, "They were able to send a police car with police officers to my children's school. They were able to send another police car or two to arrest me. I know people are making reports of thefts, of assaults, and very violent crimes in and around our neighborhood, and they're not getting a response for days."
Who the fuck made the report, and what kind of pull do they have to be able to like make that kind of bullshit happen? That is,
It blows my mind.
They like this police force should be fucking sued for
I'm
wasting
just like,
resources. That is
this like
absolute trash.
Yeah, for sure, and instantly because it doesn't give all of the information that I need to know. You know what I mean?
It's doing
And-
that on purpose because like
Of course.
if it did, there would be a fucking riot. Like,
Yeah.
oh my God.
One of the news sources, one of the people in the news station was like, if they need to go and apologize immediately to this
100%.
mother.
They need to
But it's
apologize
like-
to her. They need to apologize to the public for wasting their fucking like money. They need to
Right.
like oh my God, are you joking
And this
me?
actually, talking about apologies, there was actually in this article, there were a few other, actually, I'm going to pull it up. There were a few other things that they mentioned about the fact that there was other things that happened. So another one is like this incident followed the arrest of a couple in Hertfordshire over complaints they made about their daughter's primary school. And so apparently these parents complained about the primary school and they were arrested for complaining. And so in the article, it says that this just raises further questions about the police priorities at this point.
What the
And it's
fuck
just
is going
bananas to me.
on?
Yeah. I'm
Look,
like, there
okay,
has
here's
to
the
be
thing.
something else.
If this community, this is what, see, and that would be my question. Is this community so perfect that this is the only crime that's happening, so this is all the police have to do?
Apparently
Okay,
not, because she's
but if
saying
she's
how
saying
there's,
there's literal like assaults happening and is
Right.
nothing taken care of, then what the
Yeah.
fuck are you doing? You know what I mean? What in the world?
Yeah.
What in the actual world? Oh my God.
Can you imagine?
I cannot
like,
even imagine.
sitting there in the cell and thinking to yourself, like, huh?
Because
What do you mean? Like,
I can't-
there's so many things you should be doing right now, and
Mm-mm.
this is not one of them. So,
Mm-mm.
and
can't
so
even
it made
imagine.
me think, because how you said, like, who is this guy? I'm like, is it an ex-boyfriend that's just like totally being an asshole?
Yeah.
I don't know.
My thought was like, are her and the children's father like separated, and he's the one who bought them the iPads, and so he's like, oh, mom took them, I'm gonna get back at her right now. Like, what's going on? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that is.
Whoever called in the thing about
Yeah.
the iPads being stolen should also be arrested.
I agree. I agree. Oh my gosh, that's facts right there.
It's like, it
Because
makes me
what
think
in the
of
hell?
like, there was this video that went viral a little bit ago where like a kid called the cops because his mom ate his ice cream, and like the cops actually showed up at the house, but was
Yeah.
like because they had like, you
Kid.
know, when someone calls and they're like da, 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 but and then they hang up, like usually the cops have to show up just like
Right.
to make sure nothing was
Yeah.
weird. And so the cops showed up and the mom was like, oh no, you guys actually came. And then so she called her kid forward, and the kid was like, I called because my mom ate all my ice cream, and like and it turned into like this joke, like, you know, obviously
Yeah.
like, okay, and then the mom has to explain like, we can't actually call 911 if this happens, like blah blah blah. And but it turned into like, oh, like, you know, these are like, it's good to have positive interactions
Right.
with police, and you know, like, because Lord knows there's enough negative interactions with police, you know, so you
Yeah.
want to build positive relationships, community policing, that kind of thing. But like but then you have these negative fucking things happen, like, no wonder. But it's like, oh my God.
Yeah. It just shocked me. I was like, I try to put myself in her shoes and be like, how would I have reacted? Especially like, it's not like she's this young mom doing like, you know, did she have a record? Was she someone who they
hell
always had something
no.
out for her, so it just like escalated and they wanted to take her in for something? That's why I was like, first of all, she's 50. She's known in the area and a well-respected history teacher. I'm sorry, but I feel like history is the most boring shit ever. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But
that is absolutely, I mean, that's absolutely bonkers. Like, that's absolutely bonkers. Oh
Yeah.
my God. Oh my God.
yeah.
What is wrong with the world? I don't
Dude,
even. People
so many
are
things.
insane. Stealing fucking Trojan horses and arresting.
At least we
history
get to laugh
teachers.
at them.
I mean, this is true. This is true.
Because that question goes for so much. What is wrong with the world? And there's so much. But at least in this episode and all of the GBC episodes, we get to laugh at
We
some
keep
of
it
the
light.
what's wrong.
We
Yeah.
keep it light, y'all, because
We need it. Like, isn't that crazy? That is crazy. All of it is. I love this episode. I feel like even the good and the badass episodes got my heart feeling all sorts of ways. So much good.
yes.
We
So
think what's wrong with this world,
much.
but there's so much good. There's so much
Yes.
positivity, and I love that we get to focus on that as well because we need more of that. We need more of the focusing on the good
Do indeed.
and the
Do
badass.
indeed. If
and
you
the Rachel
guys ever
Library
run across
crime story.
a story like that, like a petty crime or a good or a badass that you guys want us to cover, send it. Just like DM us
Send
Send
it.
us the link. We'd love to cover them.
Shout you out.
Yeah, we love doing these ones. They're fun for us to do, obviously.
And I don't think we'll wait 3 months to do the next one.
I know. We usually do them a lot more often, but
I'm going to say we were doing it like every other month. And then when
Mhm.
we were looking, I was like, we haven't done one of these since
it's
May.
crazy.
That's
I know.
crazy.
That is crazy.
But that's all right. We've been
And
talking
Rachel,
about
just
some necessary
just a quick
stuff.
reminder.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna do a little bit of math really quick. So
Okay. Mathing it up. Girl math or real math? Because they're
Real
the
math.
same.
So when this episode comes out, you know how many
Ooh.
days it will be until we're at CrimeCon?
Oh my gosh. Let me take a good guess. 19.
No,
16. Yeah. I love it. I can't
You
wait.
guys, we are both so stoked for CrimeCon. We are
Yes.
so ready. We are literally picking out outfits. We are getting shit ready. We are so stoked. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be
It is
absolutely
going to be
awesome.
Awesome in so many ways because it's like being amongst our friends that we have made along the way is such a beautiful and incredible thing for us and a highlight of this entire podcasting journey. The people that we have met, like I cannot wait to see Kylie from seeing her last time. And I'm excited for everyone else. Like
Yes.
Jules and Steph, I just saw them, but I cannot wait to see them again. There's so many people, Danny, Chris, Kadra, so many people. And then meeting, you get to meet Hope. We both get to meet Hope
I
in
know.
person
I
for the
can't wait
first
to see
time.
Hope.
And hopefully Brandy, because she's still kind of like trying to figure out her life as she becomes a congresswoman. Just kidding. But I just,
Oh,
it's
it's
like
gonna
speaking it
happen.
into existence. She says, they don't want me there.
Oh,
I'm like,
but
that's exactly who they
why
need.
you need to be
Exactly.
there. Uh-huh.
But she's a busy woman. We'll see. But it's like on top of that and the people we get to be around, just the connections that we get to help, like with Hope and Brandy and with meeting other family members that we get to try to
Mhm.
talk to is incredible. And I love to go to the sessions. There's so many sessions I remember
so
from last year
informational. Yeah.
that I am so eager for. I remember how much you loved the session with Mike King,
Mike
who
Holt?
does the cult
Oh,
stuff.
no.
And
Yeah.
Mike King, and he's going to be there doing another session on cult
Mhm.
stuff.
I know. I
So
saw that.
I'm
I was
just
like, oh, we're
so
going to that.
excited. Yeah. So I am thrilled, eager, and 16 days. Countdown, baby.
Countdown.
I love
Countdown.
it. All right. What I was going to say before my brain turned off and on again was that we have a Patreon, and if you guys have not checked it out yet, we have 2 different tiers over there. We have a tier that is the just ad-free and early listening. It's $2.22. We did the angel numbers, $2.22. And then we have a second tier that is $4.44. You get the early and ad-free listening, and then you also get a couple extra things throughout the month from Doc Talks. And then Heather and I have a segment that we call Dead Serious, but not really. Because there is never anything serious with us. That's not true. But definitely light hangout. That's our hangout session that you just get to kind of be a part of. But if you guys want to check that out, that is just one of the ways you can support us. You definitely do not have to. And if not, feel free to leave a rating and review, because that is the free and best way that you can help us grow and be seen by others, is to leave a rating and review for us. So if you have not done that, please take a moment to go and do that. And if you have done it and it was not a 5-star, go fix that. Just kidding. I'm assuming if you make it this far, it's always a 5-star. That's how my head works. It's like, if you're here, you at least like us a little bit, you know? But maybe you don't, and you're just like, every second, you're like, I hate them. I must keep listening because of how much I hate them. Which would suck, but here we are. Heather, this was fun. Love these episodes.
Yes, ma'am.
And we will talk to you guys. Now I'm just like on a rant because we haven't done this in a while. If you guys are not tuning into Weird Java in the morning, we do a missing person segment on Weird Java every other Sunday with Kevin from Where the Weird Ones Are and David from Down the Rabbit Hole, and now David Don't Know. And you guys go check that out. They have their whole show that they do a bunch of stuff. Heather and I are a little tiny portion of that show. Little tiny important portion of that show. So go over there. That is on Where the Weird Ones Are on YouTube. And then also I got to meet Kevin in person, which was very awesome. I got to go see him and his kids. And the next time I see him, I'm going to see Allie and the baby too. So I can't wait for that. The baby. All right. I think I'm done rambling. Oh, I guess the other thing I'll say.
Oh,
what?
I said you're a rambling woman, and lo and behold, you continue.
Lo and behold, I'm back. I was going to say, and the number one thing I'm most excited for is I get to see my amazing co-host in 16 days. So that's the best ever. Whenever we can get in person, I'm a happy camper. Oh, and the last thing is I'm on my way to Tennessee to go support the Wicks girls, Jennifer and Adriana Wicks. We are going to be doing a 5K in honor of the girls. And then we are taking it to the front steps of the courthouse to hold signs and, speak in their name. And I cannot wait to be amongst that family. They're incredible. And these girls are so deserving. And I love that family.
Love it.
So that's how we are ending it. We will talk to you guys next Tuesday. Until then, have the best week. Hopefully you guys are excited for things. Be a badass and don't forget to turn in your library books. All right. Talk to you guys next week. Okay, love you. Bye.
Okay, love you. Bye.
I lost my children to filicide, murdered by the very person who should have been protecting them. I'm Hope Hooten, and this is Voices Against Filicide. This podcast exposes the heartbreaking epidemic of parents killing their own children. Stories the world needs to hear. You'll hear from moms like me. We'll talk about justice, healing, and what must change, including the Rowan Act, a fight to fix what's broken in our family court system. Their lives mattered. Their voices were stolen, but ours won't be. Voices Against Filicide. Listen, share, be part of the change.